Hello, beautiful ladies. It's Anastasia Dior here from Freedom Potential. And I'm saying ladies because that's who we work with. We work with ladies, with women, professional, busy, modern, active, wanting everything from life and wanting everything at the same time. And why do we work with those women? Because this is who I am. This is who I always was, and this is who I will always be. And today I would like to speak into the subject of being in a limbo. And in order to create something new, you need to create space first. So quite often we catch ourselves in a situation where like nothing is happening in our lives, or we put out this manifestation, this goals, this amazing vision, something that we really want, and then nothing is happening for a while. Weeks, months, sometimes 3 months go pass by, sometimes 6 months, sometimes 9 months, sometimes a year, sometimes a couple of years. And it gets very frustrating, especially for certain type of people like myself. I'm quite impatient, and also being a generator in my human design, I'm super active, super energetic, and I get the surges of energy, and then I do something and put it out, and I'm expecting the result straight away, but the result doesn't show up straight away, and it creates such an enormous frustration and dissatisfaction, and just like, what's going on? What am I doing wrong? Probably know nothing about manifestations or goal settings, or like I'm a total loser. For example, in the period of my life where I decided that I want a relationship, I want a magnificent, beautiful relationship, and there was like, okay, 1 month passed by, 2 months passed by, almost 3 months, and nothing is happening. And I was like, universe, hello, I said exactly what I want, how it's going to be. I know what I want. I really want it. I know that I'm fully aligned. Where is it? Why is it not showing up? So that this gap could be frustrating. And also moments in our lives when something disappears from our space, when the relationship ends, or your job, your career somehow takes the turn, and you're forced to make a change. Some kind of long-term relationship has ended, or at your workplace, in your business, there's a pivot. You were asked to leave. The circumstances outside of yourself, and again you are in limbo and kind of in a worry of why is it happening, why things are not happening the way I want, exactly the way I want, because I know what I want, and when it's gonna all end. So for those impatient ladies like me, I'd like to speak into creating space for the creation to occur. Like this, in order for something to be created, a space must appear. So it's inevitable that you will have some kind of losses in life. So don't take them too seriously, or don't take them too tragically, too dramatic, too much of a worry, too much of a problem. Yes, you don't see the future just right away, and it seems quite a painful transition. For example, just recently my good friend, good girlfriend of mine went through a rapid dissolvement of a relationship, of 4-year relationship. It was very beautiful and connected. There were, of course, areas where it wasn't fully matching her requirements. And that's how she created the change without maybe specifically saying out loud that I wanted ending, but this underlying energy of like, okay, this is not matching where I want to be. So the guy left. The circumstances started developing and working out in a way that she was faced with change, because in order to create the change, you need to first create a space. You got to have an empty slate, an empty space. And it's incredibly scary and painful where it's an empty, dark space and there's nothing, and you feel like you're hanging in the air, or it feels like even like you're falling into abyss, and there's no ground, there is no support, there's no certainty, there's no clarity. So how am I going to get through it? When you know the simple law of, what is it, physics, is that in order to pour something in, you need like an empty container, so the container needs to be emptied. However long it's going to stay empty, unfortunately we do not know, because it all depends on the complexity of manifestation, and also it depends on your purity of your own manifestation channel, of your own channel and ability to create something in the moment. If there's too much going on and your energy not fully focused on what you want, it takes longer. But if you remember that in order to create something, you need an empty container, and if at some point in your life, in some area of your life, you are having this empty container right now, it could be a relationship, could be love, it could be money, it could be career, it could be your future, it could be future possibilities you don't see just yet. It could be changes in your business where you're kind of just hanging and you don't know. Keep it keep this thought that in order to create something, you need an empty container first, and be okay with sitting in front of the empty container, with that empty container, with that empty space, and just keep yourself comforted by that, saying, yes, it's okay. For some reason, nothing is happening, and I don't know why, but in order to create new, I need an empty container. For example, last year, from October, I think for about a month or two, I was sitting with a completely empty container with no clients. It was shocking. Throughout the year, like constant inflow of clients without me even doing much or promoting myself much at all. It's just people like coming in, bringing more people, and I had to kind of manage my time very, very carefully. From October, 2 months, no, zero, nada, not a single. It was so unusual, it was so scary, it was so like shocking. It was, what's going on? Why am I, what's wrong with me? What's like, no one needs my services anymore, no one needs my gift, no one needs my my talent, my work. That's it, I'm done as a healer, as a coach, as a transformational facilitator. That's all over. So I had to sit for almost 2 months very, very uncomfortably, and then it just like a flood, then huge you know, like pouring of new stuff. New company was born, Freedom Potential. New energy, the coach came in, just like laid out the full vision. Tons of money came in. I paid off all my debts. It's just, you know, flood of things going boom, 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 into alignment of new things, completely new from where I was before. So it's just being okay with sitting with an empty container and understanding that sometimes that's what you need to do. If you need support in that moment, reach out to people who have done it, who know what it is, what it feels like, why is it happening. We provide coaching, we provide intense 3 months transformation, 90 days transformational sprint. We provide yearly memberships, yearly coaching and support to transition, to shift, to help you to get where you want, to assist your manifestation, expansion, your balance, your new life. It changes around 7 areas of your life. We do that. In the meantime, keep yourself safe, keep yourself nurtured, keep yourself protected, keep yourself free from worry, from anxiety, from, you know, thoughts running, why is it happening, and be okay with the moments of emptiness, even if it's a, you know, empty love nest at the moment. Just know that whatever you are creating, it will be created. All depends on how pure you're gonna become in your intention. And at some point, you would just have to sit with an empty container and look at it, with no judgment of yourself or others or situation or your abilities or your hopes or dreams or your visions, and just sit and wait. And that's okay. It's Anastasia Dior here with you from Freedom Potential. If you need support, you're not alone. Reach out. We're here.